Real, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Mixes are clean.
Yeah.
That one, it wasn't even finished. Turn that down a little.
What up, y'all? This is Just Me, Zach. You're now tuned into BeatGrade, and I'm actually here with the winner of Beat Battle number 10, Spliftout. How you doing?
Thanks for having me, man.
Man,
great.
it's a pleasure, especially after hearing the set that you dropped for us a little bit earlier. And it raised a lot of questions for me. And one of the questions I was really wondering was like, I know you're pretty much sample based, but there's some stuff you're actually doing from scratch, correct?
Yes, definitely. I started off sampling, you know, that's like kind of like my vibe, that's what I like to do. Just like the first beat I ever made was on the SP12 Turbo, like a long time ago, long time ago. And it's just, I've always liked to chop records up, and just, that's always been like a part of the process. And then as I got closer to the digital era, I was like, you know, all these DAWs, DAWs started coming out, and I was kind of like, what's going on with this stuff? So I knew I had to kind of expand my game a little bit, and then I started messing with the keys a little bit, and then just like, you know, just kind of figured out a couple chords. And I'm not really what you would call like a live musician, but I'm like a producer musician. You know what I'm saying? Like I can play a little bit of everything. Like I can get what I want out the instrument in the studio. Don't put me on stage with the shit, because it's not gonna work out that way. But as far as like I could get what I need to get. So yeah, I do produce a lot of records from scratch. But I like sample based, that sound. It's not, you can't supplement that, like the way they recorded stuff, the way they mixed it, the way just like the air that's in the samples and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there's just an energy and like just a vibe to sampling that's like you can't really recreate. You know what I mean? So I love that vibe, that texture. You know what I mean?
Do you find it more effective sometimes just letting the sample ride versus chopping it?
What is like looping a sample or something?
Yeah. So you go ahead.
I don't really like to do that. Like.
So you're more like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and chop it, kind of create my own riff, you know, show people what I really did with this.
Right. I like to take what a friend of mine calls the blue notes. You know what I'm saying? Like those notes that are just like those notes. Like I like to, I say like I like to take the best like 2 seconds of somebody's career and like flip it. You know what I'm saying? Into a hot beat, basically. You know what I mean? Like just find that one little piece that's really dope, and then take the notes and try to make my own riff with it, and just like, you know, do what I can as far as like, just like, you know, kind of like how you was doing earlier, just messing with the chops.
Of course, you know what I'm saying? Of course. But even though you're taking from past records, you're also messing with track lib, and I think you're also working with like digital sample packs and stuff like that, correct?
I'm not really as much into the sample packs, because I just feel like that's kind of like a new wave thing, and I like to have some kind of like exclusivity to my sound, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to just like take the same thing that like 4,000 other dudes around the country downloaded and built their whole track off. You know? I mean, the sampling is like that too, but
yeah,
not if you're really trying to change it and turn it into something else. If you're just taking samples and taking breaks, and yeah, somebody else could do the same thing. You know what I mean? But like you say Tracklib, for example, they had like a beat battle, like a beat contest type thing, and it was only it was like 2 samples, and it might have been like 300 or 400 different versions, but like none of them really sounded the same, and I was kind of tripping on that. I was like, oh damn, like the kind of one knock I had on sampling doesn't even really apply because everybody kind of does shit their own way, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's pretty cool actually.
And going back to what you were saying about samples too, do you think people like sample-based music because there's a familiarity and connection to some of those records, if you know it, or just because it has that sound? Like you said, people use certain instruments and how it's recorded and everything.
My interest in sampling is just, I mean, that's how I started. I mean, that's how, basically, I got into music. Here's why I got into music. Here's why I got into production. I got into making music because I couldn't keep finding groups that I liked. You know what I'm saying? Like I had like certain groups like Tribe Called Quest and, you know, Black Sheep. I'm going way back because I'm a little older than most of these cats. But and it was like, then it was like, who's next? Then it would be like a De La or somebody. But then there was like a big space. You know what I'm saying? It would be hard to find like certain people that kind of. So I was like, I'm gonna start making my own stuff. You know what I mean? And then I was like a little rapping kid. I could freestyle, and I got into the studio with a producer, T-Bird Fresh. He passed away, but he's from New York. He was in a group called Stepping Strong, and he was the first person to kind of bring me to the studio and show me how to make a song. You know what I'm saying? So by like my 3rd song, I had my own ideas, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pay for my own studio time. I'm just gonna go back there and do it myself. You know what I mean? So I kind of took his formula and somebody else's formula. My boy Michael Delic from Boston, he was like the greatest never, you know what I'm saying, that you never hear of, but this kid was like DJ Premier status, nice quality, like just dope hip hop vibe. I ain't gonna say DJ Premier because he's in the class by himself, but you know, he's like, could have been that type of person. He was ahead of the curve so early. He could have been like a DJ Premier type dude, and that's the guy that taught me how to make beats. So I really took his formula and then just ran with it. He kind of just got out of that. He went somewhere. He went another direction with it. But I took what he taught me and really ran with it.
That's really dope. Talking about you paying for studio time and doing all that, how's that transition from when you're locked into the studio creating and then being able to play your stuff to beat battles, to showcases, to even Sirius XM, because I know you got some stuff played, like talking about Premiere. You had your stuff played on Premiere's stuff, and then also Heavy Hitters. And then
Heavy
Hitters,
the morning show played the Freddie Black joint, DJ Eclipse and DJ Riz, shout out to them. They carry me right now, you know what I'm saying? Lord Sear just started playing some stuff. Yeah, the Shade 45, man, thank you. That's all I can say to Shade 45 is thank you. You know what I'm saying? The DJ Premier, like, salute, boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eclipse, Riz, all them dudes. DJ Menace for sending the stuff over there. Like, I really appreciate what they're doing because they're kind of like, they're making me feel like I didn't waste my whole life making beats for nothing, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because now I'm like dropping records and they're like actually coming out and it's getting some push, so that's a good feeling, which is building the brand, which is creating a demand, which is like, they're basically starting careers over there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
They are.
And you've had people freestyle over there as well on your stuff, and what I wanted to know too was like, has there ever been a time where you're like, man, someone could have came a little bit harder, or like, I was really vibing with this?
As far as like the dudes that was rapping on the show.
Yeah.
I was just honored that they were playing it and that, you know, I was just happy. And actually, to tell you the truth, like all the dudes pretty much killed everything that I saw them rapping on. I can't even tell you who it was half the time, but if you go back and look at them, the dudes were pretty dope. They bring dope people up there.
Yeah, it's Shade 45. I mean, come on. Yeah.
They got all, they're good as far as like picking out the talent and shit. And I really appreciate what they do over there for people like me. It's just like how BeatGrade does, you know what I mean? Like, between y'all and them, like that's kind of like what's got me moving right now. I mean, I got a lot of relationships with a lot of people and a lot of history in the game and all that, but that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. It's really the Shade 45 moves and the BeatGrade stuff. So.
I definitely feel like you're boom bap certified, especially Premiere playing your stuff. Are there any styles that you're looking to master outside of that right now?
I mean, the funny thing is I've been in this game so long and I was getting discouraged at one point that with the whole hip hop thing, even though that's like who I am and that's in me and that's always like been the driving force behind everything I do, it got to a point where I was kind of getting fed up with just getting overlooked and feeling like I was like I don't want to sound like arrogant. I felt like I was like kind of killing a lot of people in the game, you know what I mean? And I just was getting sick of getting overlooked. And so I got up with, it's crazy how it happened. I got up with, you ever heard of Danny Way, pro skateboarder?
Yes.
Yeah, I ended up just organically getting up with Danny Way through a project I was working on with this kid called Eddie Rap, who was dope. It never really took off like I wished it would or like it probably should have, but it was the vehicle to get me to Danny and for us to become friends and build a relationship. And from that, we've kind of like, you know, I started doing like punk rock music, kind of like folk music.
That's awesome.
Feel the vibe a little bit. So I even started messing with that. You know, I started to get like a little electro vibe, but even though I didn't really follow through with that, once again it came back around like, all right, this hip hop stuff, man, like they don't appreciate me. It's their loss, I guess, because I'm over here killing myself trying to make this work. But I bet you if I do like one electro set, I'm gonna get $100,000 and travel the world every night. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I started like, okay, I'm gonna show. I don't know who I'm gonna show. I'm just gonna try this out anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I can never really get away from hip hop. So I'm really glad that I stuck to my guns with my sound, because everybody was telling me, yo, you gotta do trap, yo, you gotta do this, yo, you gotta do that, yo. And it's like, nah, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna do what I do. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I stuck with that, and I'm glad that at least like the actual real hip hop, like the real boom bap world, is kind of at least taking notice that to my dedication and my, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, and I can actually get some kind of. That's not about recognition. It's just about, you know, you make music because you love it, man. You want other people to. So when you get a DJ Premier, somebody that I've been like wishing I could be like and meet, and this is my whole life, and then he's playing my record all of a sudden, and then I get to meet him, and he's telling me keep him coming. When I ever met DJ Premier, he looked at me and said keep him coming. I was like, dude, they done fucked up now. I don't know if you can put that in the interview, but I was like, it's a rap, yo. Primo just told me keep him coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, money can't buy that. Money can't buy a cause.
That was monumental. That was like a life moment for sure. Shout out Freddie Black for hooking me up with Primo.
Yeah, no, you said a lot, and I think the biggest takeaway is that, you know, stick to your guns. You know, always make music from your gut. You don't have to switch it up for people to resonate. You know, music's universal, so someone's gonna gravitate towards it. I think that's really important. But talking about Freddie Black, y'all have been working heavy. What else is going on?
Yo, Freddie's crazy, man. Freddie's my friend. You know what I'm saying? I know Freddie since he was like 11 years old. I met him, I was like 18. He was like 11. He was a little ass kid, man. He was like this tall, right? I don't know if I can say this neither, but he came up to me like this big. My first tape I ever put out, Freddie Black, the way I met him was he was buying my first tape.
That's awesome.
And he was like this little kid with a big bag of weed. And I was like, this little kid's crazy. And then next thing I know, he came around like 6, 7, 8 years later, probably when he was like 17, and he could rap his ass off. Yeah, so basically like, he took the good route, man. Like he had, you know, a lot of people like they have kids and they're like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper, and they run around, and then their baby's mom is just like stuck with the kid by himself, and the dude's like selling drugs or something to make it all work, and then it still never works. So, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? The typical like trying to come up from the bottom story, you know. And he didn't do that, man. He like sacrificed his dreams. He worked a job. He raised his kids, and then all of a sudden, like his kids started getting older, and they went to college, and then things started working for him. You know what I mean? Like he had something going on with Premier. He works with Gem Crates. He was DJ Premier's assistant. So he caught wind of what Freddie was doing back home when I was actually in Atlanta, because I was working with Stevie J for Love and Hip Hop.
Nice.
That's like my mentor. That's like my big bro right there in the music game. Yeah. Yo, that's like the one person in the music industry that was like, come with me, I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's always had that vibe to me. He taught me so much. I just want to shout out Stevie J for sure. But yeah, so it just got to the point, man, where it was just like, just do what you do, kid. You know what I mean? And just keep going, and finally, like, it's good to have some kind of like comeback around. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's creating a demand, and now it's like, wow, at the end of, you know, I'm getting old, man. You know, I've been doing this for a minute, and it's like, it's funny to see that, you know, at the end of the day, it's gonna work, man. It's definitely gonna work.
How'd you connect with Stevie J?
Whew, that's that kid Eddie Rap again, man. That kid's a special kid, man. He's amazing, but he was just such like a force of energy. Everybody wanted to be around this kid, man. He's still around. He's just like he didn't really follow through with his opportunity like that. And who knows, maybe he'll get another chance because he's really talented. But Stevie was. This is a crazy story. This is a true story, and this is crazy. This is how. All right, I got Eddie Rap a deal with Baron Davis. You know Baron Davis?
Yeah.
All right, Baron Davis. Got a deal with Baron Davis. Baron Davis had a house for us, which I thought, I didn't even know whose house it was, but it was this big ass house we all lived in. He put us up, we got some money, Eddie got some money, like everything was cool, it was all facilitated. Like we were signed to Baron was gonna get the big deal, we're doing the production thing, and he had the whole squad there, and we lived with Khloe Kardashian. Like,
what?
She was dating one of the dudes, my boy Church, he's gone now, he's a great guy. He was like the brother of the president of the label, D-Mac.
Wow.
And so we were living with them, and they basically, Khloe was living with us, but we didn't know who Khloe was. Though. It was before all that stuff.
That is wild.
And I remember like going to get the mail and bringing it in, like, what's this say? Like her last name was all crazy and stuff. You know what I mean? Like just to bring it in and whatever. I'm walking in the house and we check the mail type stuff, and she was really cool, super cool, but. It was just crazy because like that house was like, that's where I met Stevie. So I used to be in the other room producing, and there was like a big studio room, and then there was like the little guy room, and I was always in the little guy room, you know what I mean? And I guess every time during this one session they would stop the music, they would hear my beats coming through the vents. So Stevie was like, yo, who's in there? You know what I'm saying? They're like, Spliff. He said, who's Spliff? Whatever. Then, all right, whatever. They kept going back to their thing. And I went in the studio to get like a lighter or something for a blunt. And he was like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, Spliff. He's like, you're Spliff? He's like, yo, man, what's up with that heat? I hear bleeding through them walls and shit. And I was like, oh shit. Like I didn't even know who he was. You know what I'm saying? Like face to face, I didn't know. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, I'm Stevie J, bad boy. And I was like, all right, I heard
bad boy?
I heard you. Like, and he's like, yo, come on, let me hear what you got. So he walked over there, and it was like him and the homie Tony De Niro. And they were just standing there waiting for me to play some beats. And I played one beat, and then Stevie was like, let me hear something else. I played another one. He was like, let me hear another one. I played like 2 or 3 more. He was like basically like, you're coming with me, man.
Come on, yo.
You know what I'm saying? And after that, we've just been down forever. It's been like almost 14 years.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. You've done a lot. Anything else kind of coming up?
I think me and Tone Spliff are gonna drop a Spliff versus Spliff album.
We were talking about that off camera. Yeah. Coming soon, man.
And,
definitely coming soon.
You know, I just want to shout out like the BeatGrade culture, like the whole, just the whole beat producer culture, or whatever you want to call it, that's starting to come together, and just like what you guys are doing for producers is really dope, and the producers that you guys brought to the table are really dope.
Thank you.
Like I honestly feel like yeah, I was in there, you know, doing my thing and everything, but I honestly felt like any round could have gone any way. Like,
dude, the competition was stiff, man. I'm gonna second everything you just said, for real.
Like Flex Beto could have beat me. Like anybody could have beat. Like I could have beat this one could have beat that one, and this one could have beat me, and he could have beat them. You know what I'm saying? It could have been like SP to.
Oh man, SP.
Goodness gracious.
SP is amazing.
He's a monster.
It was an honor to lose to him in Beat Battle number 5. So
yeah, he's a problem, and a cool dude. I like him. Audacity, like everybody, man. The dude has like. I can't remember everybody's name, but I was like, there's a lot of dope dudes like today. I was highly impressed.
And it's all unity, it's all love at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. You can feel it.
And there's not one reigning champ to this day. We only have like winners, and that was like the best of the best. But we'll see where we take it.
Yeah.
But man, I feel blessed to have producers coming from different states to come rock with us and build this community.
That's dope.
But thank you so much, Spliftout.
Thank you,
it's been
man.
an honor. Definitely great.
Likewise.
Man.
Thanks.
This is Justin V. Zach, and this is BeatGrade.
work hard.